Guys, so in this video I'll be discussing about how can you find the maximum salary of all the employees in each department. This is very important interview question, so we have to understand it very carefully. Okay, so let's understand like how we can create entities for department, for employees, and how can we group them, and how can we fetch the maximum salary of the employees present in each department. So let's suppose some people are staying in HR department, some people are staying in engineering department. There are a lot of departments, right? And in each department, there can be n number of employees. So all the employees will be having their own definite salary. So I want the maximum salaries in each and every department. So this is a very important interview question. So let's get started. So let me share my screen. Okay, I hope you can see my screen now. So here, if you can observe, I have created one employee class. Okay. So an employee class contains employee ID, employee name, employee salary, and department. Okay. So these are the mappings which we have created. But you will be thinking like, why I'm creating department in employee? We should create like in department class, we can create employees, right? Why in employee class we are creating department? It's because we need to map employee with department, because we need to find a maximum salary in each department. Correct? So how will we map this employee with department? So for that, we need to have the department class in employee class. Okay. Then there is something called department class, which contains department ID, department name. And there is a constructor for that. And there is getter and setter. And there is corresponding hash code and equals method. Okay. And there is toString method. Okay. So we will ask like why we are putting hash code and equals method. Okay, so let's suppose you are doing certain operation on streams like distinct or checking the equality condition. So we are not using string class right here. We are using the own specific custom class like employee class, department class. If you are using string class, then you might be remembering that string class overrides hash code and equals method by default. So we don't need to override them explicitly in case of string class. But department and employee class doesn't override hash code and equals method. Okay, and any other custom class doesn't override this hash code and equals. So we need to give our own implementation in hash code and equals. So it is very important. So after that we will be starting with the main class. So here you can see like I have defined department 1 with the set of department ID and department name. Okay. Then there is something called department 2, which contains DPT2 and the department name. Okay. So like that we have created 2 departments. And now we have created 5 employees. And each employee is having their own department. So EMP1 is staying in department 1, EMP2 employee is staying in department 1, and EMP5 employee is staying in department 1. The rest all employees are staying in department 2. So like this mapping has been created for employee and department. Okay. I hope you are getting it. Then we have created a list of employees. Okay. Because we have to stream on employees to fetch the maximum salary, right? So for that, we are creating employee list and we are adding all the employees one by one into this employee list. Okay. Then we have to fetch the maximum salary in each department. So what we have done for that, if you can observe closely, I have done employee list. I have done the stream on this employee list dot stream dot collect. We need to collect because grouping by we have to do, right? We have to group the employees based on department, then we will find the maximum salary in each department, correct? So for that, we need to do a grouping by. So grouping by works within collect method. So we will write dot collect, and then within that, we will call this static method present in collectors class. So collectors class is present in java.util.stream package. And within this class, there is a static method called grouping by. So if you can see like grouping by returns me what? It's a map kind of data. So grouping by method will return me map of this key and value pair. What is my key here? Key is the department ID. I have put like key as a department ID. Okay. So if you have seen right in employee, there is something called department class. And in department, there is something called as department ID. Okay. So same thing we are using over here. I'm going to employee, I'm going to department, and within this department, I'm getting the department ID because we need to group by department ID, because sometimes name might be same, but ID will be unique to each and every department. Okay. So here we have created department ID group based on department ID, then that is key, and then value will be the maximum of all the employees present in each department. That was the question, right? For each department, we need to calculate what's the maximum salary of each department employees. So I have fetched the key part, which is department ID. Now I want in that particular department, what is my maximum employee salary? Okay, what is the maximum salary of all the employees combined? So I have put like max by, again there is a static method max by within collectors class. Okay, so I am making use of that directly. And then we are making use of comparator dot comparing. So what is this? So you may understand like max by takes the argument as a comparator type argument. Okay, so comparator type argument it accepts, and then we will provide the comparison here. So it's similar to that. You can understand like a class implementing comparator, and then it accepts there is a one abstract method present, like compare method is present, right? So comparator is a functional interface which contains only one abstract method, okay, which is compare method. You understood, right? So this is a kind of functional interface which contains only one method. Okay, so that is very important. And then so we are comparing based on employee salary because we want maximum salary. Okay, so we need to compare all the salaries in that particular department. So I am doing the max by. So whatever employee salary I am been fetching over here by comparing method, it is calculating the maximum. Here you can see it returns a collector that produces the maximal element according to the given comparator. Okay, so you can understand like an anonymous inner class being created, and there is a compare method being overridden. Okay, and within that there is two argument like O1 and O2. Okay, and then you are doing O1 dot get salary minus O2 dot get salary, and then it is being calculating the maximum salary. So all those methods you don't have to write it explicitly. Now those are being taken care of by max by method. Okay, so that previously we used to create those many lines of we have to write right in a method. So those classes, those methods are not required as of now. It has been replaced with one single line. So this is the magic of streams. Then what is a return type of this group by? It's a map type, right? Map of string and this salary which is of long type. Okay, so it's like map of string and long. So I want to do the stream operation on map. So is it possible to do the stream operation on map? No, right? Because it's not a part of collection. So it's a part of collection framework but not a part of collection interface. So we have to convert it into a collection type. So for that we need to do entry set. If I do entry set on this map, so it will become eligible for streaming operation. Okay, then we are doing dot stream method, then we are doing for each. Okay, so for each method if you see it accepts consumer type data. Okay, so consumer type data means what? It will just accept the data and it will not return me anything. So here you can see the lambda function is there. So consumer accepts the data. So what is the inbuilt one method is there? Okay, so consumer is also a functional interface which contains only one method, which is accept method. So from the name itself, you will get to know that it will accept data, but it will not return me anything. Okay, so here you can see it is accepting X as a lambda function variable, but it will not return me anything. So whatever you want to print, you have to print it here itself, because this function for each method will not return me anything. So I have taken one value X, okay, and I have to perform operation on this variable X. So for each element from this entry set, I am taking X, and then it will contain the map. Okay, X is what? X is map, which is having key value pair. So here if I've compared like if X dot get value dot is present, okay, so it will check whether that value is present or not. So if it is present, it will go inside and then it will print me the department ID. Okay, so X dot get value, then dot get department ID. I hope you can get this what I'm trying to say. So from the map, I am fetching the value part. Okay, I'm fetching the value part. What value part contains? This is the key part, right? Department ID is the key part and value part is the maximum salary in each department. So I want to get the department ID. So how can we get the department ID? So we will fetch the value part, and from value part we will fetch the department, because employee is having department. If you can see here, employee is having the department class. So here we can see from employee, X dot get value is what? Is the employees. Okay, from that we are getting the employee list, and then we are fetching the department, and then we are fetching the department ID for each element of that X. Okay, and then for that department, I want the maximum salary. So salary is present as a value only. X dot get value dot get. So till here I got the employees. Okay, but I want the employee salary. So then I'm doing dot get employee salary. So what we will get here? We will get department ID as a key and then employee salary as a value. So I will get department ID, and each department ID is what is the maximum employee salary. We will get it like this. So let's run this code once. Yeah. So if you observe it, department ID is DEPT 101 and maximum salary is how much? 10 lakh. And then DEPT2 is second department whose maximum salary is 15 lakh. So can we validate whether it's showing me correct output or not? So for validating, let's get into here. So here we have defined 5 employees. Okay. So DPT1 is having 3 employees, 101, 102 and 105. So out of these 3, which is having maximum salary? Obviously this one, 10 lakh. And out of DPT2, what is the maximum salary? 15 lakh. And that was the answer. Okay. So in each department, now we have calculated the maximum salary. So that was the very important question for interview. Okay. So don't mug it up. Try to understand the concept, which is very much important. So basically we are doing the streams on employee, then we are grouping based on department ID so that we can get department ID and the maximum salary as a key value pair. Okay, so grouping by till here, it will return me map. Okay, and then we didn't calculate yet like what we need to print. So for printing purpose, we need to stream on this. Okay, otherwise till here it will just return me map. So what you can do, you can just break it into 2 simple steps. You can store this value in map of string comma employee, which is long time. Map of string comma long you can store, and then in the next line you can do map.entryset.strip. That way also you can, there is no issue. I've put it in one line, you can do it in 2 separate lines. That is also fine, no problem with that. Whatever way you can understand, that way you can go ahead. Then with that map, we are putting entry set, then stream method. Same thing we are doing in there. These are 2 operations that we are doing. You can split it into 2 parts as well. Okay. So from that map.entry, we are fetching one by one the value and checking whether value is present or not. There should be the employees, right, in each department. If any department is not having any employees, then what's the use of streaming? Okay, so that's why I'm checking that if value is present or not. If it is present, then it will go inside and will print a department ID and then a maximum salary in this department. I hope you got the idea, you got the concept. So in the next consecutive series of streams concepts, I will be explaining you different kind of questions on streams. So till then, stay tuned, stay connected. It's Devjit Roy signing off. Bye bye.